Mark Occhilupo used to love the karaoke,
I'm sure.
and and I think I think Occhi fancied himself as a bit of a Mick Jagger.
This is a question I'm dying to ask. Have you held the Bells Trophy? Like any of the
Oh yeah,
recent Bells trophies? Like, tell me what
yeah.
it feels like. Are they heavy? Did you ring that bell, or is it?
Mm.
Tell
I've
me about
never
all of it.
I've never deliberately rung the bell.
Right.
So part of my job, particularly the first decade or so I was at Rip Curl, I had to organise the media conference as a media launch for the event, and so we would always take the perpetual trophy. It sits in Rip Curl's front office area, behind a locked cabinet. It's So I'd have to carry it around, and I would often be on my own. So I would literally um, wrap a towel around the bell and the
Right.
ringer so that it couldn't ring. And then I would, strap it into the front seat of my car, with the seatbelt and very carefully carry it wherever I needed to take it. Um, the I don't know the superstition about
For sure.
only the winners get to ring the bell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that there's a negative side to it if you're not a winner and you ring the bell. But we always used to wind people up. If they got to look at the bell or touch the bell, we'd say, "Don't ring it, don't ring it. It's bad luck. It's bad luck."
Yeah.
So we've kind of created a bit of a superstition around it. But certainly, carrying it, the thing's heavy. Like I always felt for the winners, invariably the last day sees them surf 2 or 3 times. It's tough work paddling, and then they've got to lift this thing that's 15 to 20 kilos, like 30
I love it.
pounds above their head and shake it, and it's it's been funny, some of the efforts, they kind of get wonky, and but it's a cool tradition. It features on our national news every year. The fact that the event's been just going so long now, it's a real kind of a highlight of our national sporting calendar.
I think you guys created this mystery around it, and a lot of it has to do with the subtlety of not claiming. I think it derives from like, hey, have
Yeah,
some humility. Don't go in there and ring
yeah,
it unless you've earned it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
I think it has something to do with that Aussie spirit that I really appreciate, man.
yeah.
It's a pretty cool
It's
tradition.
Rip Curl has a long tradition of putting on great parties around Easter. It's probably it certainly involves the elite level pros far less today than it did, in the early 90s, you
Right.
know, and the late 80s. I'll never forget, coming down for the I think my second bells when I was at tracks, and the VIP area was a big tent, and basically every afternoon after the competition, all the competitors would do karaoke and get drunk, and it was just Mark Occhilupo used to love the karaoke,
I'm sure.
and and I think Occhi fancied himself as a bit of a Mick Jagger type, and
He's said this in
changed.
interviews too.
I hope to do it for at least 10 more years, as long as I stay as fit as I am now. But I've got other goals that I'd like to get into. I'd like to get into the entertainment field, and there's a lot of things there. Well, I like to do it. I like to sing and stuff, and there's just goals that I haven't really told anyone about.
Yeah, yeah, and I think there's a bit of the bit of showbiz in a lot of the surfers, and those kind of times were fun. They were they were treating it a bit less seriously. I guess on land, between heats, they would be less disciplined than they are today.
Yeah.
But that, I think that's a reflection of how much the overall standard has risen. The fitness standard particularly. That's where the greatest change, I think, has come in surfing over the last 25, 30 years. The surfers have recognised that fitness, for their whole body and their minds, is really important to, giving them the best chances at success in comps. But, the other thing about surfing competitions, they're such a lottery. I would probably advise people, go with your own picks.